Dr. Ellen Simpao from the FIT Counseling Center. She runs a group on creating and maintaining relationships during COVID-19.
All right, I'll make a pitch about the counseling center and let you know about it. As you probably know, the counseling center is working remotely again this semester, but we still are offering free, confidential, short-term individual therapy and workshops. Some of the workshop groups that we do offer to students include things like the Developing and Maintaining Relationships group, which I run. There's also a friendship circle. We have a group for students who've been adopted. I also run a group for students who are the first generation in their families to go to college. We also have a group for survivors of sexual assault or abuse. And then someone who runs a dealing with loss group, which is for people who are grieving the loss of a loved one. And we also have some special groups as needed, like when, like to deal with racial trauma. And we also have some fun events, such as animal therapy, and I also run a diversity awareness workshop. So those are some of the things we offer students. Remote therapy is usually not our therapy of choice. Of course, we'd rather see students in person. There's something about being able to see the students' facial expressions live and their body language, and just to get a sense of them as a whole. So that's our preferred way. But you know, remote therapy is better than not, and than no therapy. And I've seen benefits of it. I don't know if we'll continue remote once we get back to live, but you know, it's something to consider.
And so you specialize in the maintaining and developing like relationships during COVID?
Well, that's one of the groups I run. I'm not sure I specialize in it, but I do run it. And I started it in spring 2020 semester because, as you know, the pandemic and social distancing has made it really hard for students to meet each other. You know, you just can't run into each other on campus or have like a little sidebar chat in a class. So I was hearing from students that it was really hard to meet other students. And so that was one of the goals of this group. And then the other goal was, even if you were in a relationship, it was getting harder to maintain it.
Apart from the therapy and like counseling that you guys offer, like what are some things that you recommend that people can do outside of going to the groups and like attending counseling that are like really beneficial to like relationship building?
Right. Well, you mentioned about self-care, and that I think is always like one of the basic tenets of a good relationship is a good relationship with yourself. So you know, there was a saying growing up that you should know yourself before you commit to a partnership. And you don't exactly have to be in therapy, but it's good to do some exploratory work, even on your own. So things like journaling, maybe meditation, just getting a really good sense of what works for you is very helpful. Definitely self-care. You know, you can get some help from people, but ultimately you have to help yourself. So whatever the self-care is, whether it's like a mani-pedi or a facial, I definitely recommend taking a break from the computer. So I'll often recommend in between classes, students take a walk, even if it's up and down the stairs or around the apartment 8 times. Lately, I've been recommending students to do a plank or a wall sit. They're challenging, and I'm only saying a plank or a wall sit for 1 minute because that's that's like challenging enough, but it's good. It's a good enough exercise to give you a break. I really am all for exercise, not just for the physical fitness, but to get your mind off of whatever that chatter is in your head. So I often recommend doing some exercise a few times a week for about 20-30 minutes minimum, just so that the exercise can take away your focus off of all the worries and stress, and you're just following the instructor. Definitely something that, anything that takes your mind off of the, gets your mind to stop chattering about all the worries and anxieties. So if it's watching a movie or talking to friends, I'm definitely for meeting up with friends and family, of course outside with mask and socially distancing. But if you can do that, I highly recommend it. It's good to have friendships and have relationships, because you get a sense of what kind of people work for you.
Right.
What kind of people bring out the better parts. We all have a little bit of crazy in us, but we also have a lot of good in us. And it's a matter of finding what kind of people bring out the better parts of you, and what kind of people bring out the crazy in you, and like, so you can stay away from that. And you probably have a sense of that already. And it's good to listen to your intuition.
So, what is like the most important takeaway that you would want someone to learn from this video?
That the counseling center exists, and
Right.
it exists for you, the students. It saddens me when students who are like in their final semester at FIT say that they never heard of us and finally they found us. So we're always trying to get students to know about us, and know that we can help you. Even if it's short term, we will point you towards a direction where you can get the help you need. Whatever issues are getting in the way academically and developmentally. I mean, we hope that our students leave the counseling center with better tools and resources, so that they can go on and, have fulfilling lives and careers. Try to make it easier for students. College is hard, so we're just trying to make it less hard and try to give you the tools.
Well, it definitely is working. So, thank you so much. We
Thanks.
really appreciate it.
Nice meeting you all.
Nice meeting
Bye.
you too.